The following is a fourth-hand production.
Commentator.
That's what we call our guests from now on. Special guest assholes. SGAs.
There's like a filling here that's causing the
Yeah, I think it's the metal plate in your head.
it's the extra asshole.
There you go. Yep. You've got two assholes.
What? No! You suck! Oh my God!
Good evening, shoppers, and welcome back to another episode of What the Suck podcast. My name is James.
And I'm Chris, as always.
Yes, indeed. His name does change from time to time, but tonight it's Chris.
It's whatever I feel like on a Saturday night and how I'm dressed.
I am very pleased to announce that this evening in the studio with us is our friend Joe Breda from the Old Humble Distilling. How you doing, Joe?
Welcome back.
Thanks, guys. Great to be here.
Welcome back, sir. Why don't you update us a little bit on what's been going on?
It's been a while since you've been here, so
Yeah.
What new stuff do you have going on? What good stuff do you have going on? What stuff do you have going on?
Well, guys, it's good to be back. Thanks for having me.
Always.
As of right now, we have just made our third batch of bourbon and released it, and it will be sold out in 3 days, and I am super excited about that.
That's amazing.
So by the time when these folks are listening to this, the bourbon will have already been gone.
Long gone.
Yes.
And I'm very excited about that. We will have our next batch coming out in the summer of 2020.
Okay.
After we have moved into our new facility.
Awesome.
Our new facility will be coming online probably in early spring. We'll have our official grand opening on Memorial Day 2020, which is when we do all of our grand openings. That's our birthday.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So our first location opened up on Memorial Day. Our second location opened up on Memorial Day. Our third location will open up on Memorial Day. There's a pattern there.
Nice.
Fantastic.
I'm sensing Labor Day pattern.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
Anyway, moving on.
Our new facility is about 2 miles away from the existing facility now. It is a 50% larger facility. We will have 10 times the still space. We will have, 6 times the fermentation space, which means we will be making much, much, much more bourbon going forward. And I hopefully will not be saying in the future, we just sold out of all of our bourbon in 3 days.
But that's a good thing to say
back.
still.
Hopefully I'll still be saying we sold out of all of our bourbon in 3 days, but it will be a whole lot more bourbon.
Yes, that's
Fantastic,
exactly
man.
what you want to do. Yes.
And we'll have a proper tasting room. We'll have a stage. We'll have a TV. We'll have tables. We'll have a bar. We'll have all the stuff.
Man, that's
And
awesome.
it's gonna be fun.
Congratulations, man.
Congratulations
that is
on that. And I
fantastic.
have to say, your product is fantastic.
Well, thank you, gentlemen.
And I have told people before, on here, I don't really drink. And this stuff goes down very smooth, very delicious, no aftertaste, which is very important for a occasional social drinker like myself.
Well, thank you very much.
You don't want to have to gag it up because it's too strong for you, huh?
No, I get it down, but I'm just saying his liquor goes down very smoothly.
Yeah, it does go very smoothly.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that, guys. My entire philosophy in making the whiskey is that you should never, ever, ever, ever have to fight your way to the bottom of a glass or the end of a bottle. If you have to think about it and psych yourself up to drink your whiskey, you're doing it wrong. Get a better whiskey.
Yep.
That's a great
I
philosophy.
agree with that philosophy.
Yeah, I actually look forward to drinking this tonight because we are drinking tonight, ladies and germs
Yep,
out there.
Here we go again.
Yeah. The bar is stocked
Yeah.
with our straight whiskey and our special reserve. Our straight whiskey is 90% corn and 10% malted barley and aged 5 years in used bourbon barrels. Our special reserve is that same whiskey aged 5 years in used bourbon barrels that has been put back in new 5-gallon casks for anywhere between 6 to 12 weeks.
And I am currently stroking both like they are my own penis because they're very beautiful and just as hard. So, yeah.
They are available at Specs all across the state, and by the time people are listening to this podcast, they should be available at more stores.
And we will have that. We'll have photos of the bottles posted. Any updates that Joe has, we'll be posting.
Yes.
And we are hoping to, soon after you open your facility, to schedule a live podcast from the Wildcat Room.
Oh, that will be so much fun.
Man, I am looking forward to that. And doing an actual drinking game with 200 or 300 people. Or however many we can cram in there.
2 or 3 dozen.
2 or 3
Okay,
dozen.
I'll
small
take
group.
2 or 3 dozen.
I will take a smaller group
But
because
it's a
they're,
rowdy group,
they're easier to please than a bigger
Absolutely.
group.
yes, indeed.
Yeah, I mean,
Sounds great.
Which is why I always limited the number of girlfriends and wives that I've ever had.
that's smart.
Because a smaller group is easier to please.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Learn from the Mormons. You don't want too many.
Exactly.
It's a fucking headache.
Exactly.
Every day is ragtime, so,
Yep. Lord have mercy. Somebody's fucked up. You move to the next, right?
I feel sorry. Those poor guys don't get 1 week off. Every week is somebody else's period. So there's like every week of the year. It's like,
No,
forget
I'm
it.
sure they sync up.
Oh, my God. That's even worse.
One
one week.
dreadful
Six
week.
or
1 week.
7 of them in there at one
7
time,
women.
letting you have it.
Oh, my God.
You're planning a business trip.
Why didn't you take the garbage out in stereo? Just
You need to have a hotel room on reserve for that particular week every month and just go there for the week.
yep.
Just come
I'm
back.
going on a business trip. I'll see you in about a month.
See you in a week and a half.
Yep.
All right, well, why don't you tell us about the movie we're watching today, James?
All right. Today's lovely selection is 1975's The Giant Spider Invasion. I actually saw
Boy.
this movie in its first theatrical run in 75. I was a whole 8 years old, and my mom and dad actually took me to see this. And when I was a kid, it actually got to me a little bit, but then again, you don't know any better. But the synopsis reads as such. Giant spiders from an intergalactic dimension invade Wisconsin and wreak havoc on the population of a small town and the nation's supply of cheese.
Wisconsin. Man, they picked the wrong place to invade.
That's crazy. Film is directed by Bill Rebane, produced by William Gillette Jr., Richard L. Huff, and Bill Rebane, written by Robert Easton and Richard L. Huff. A lot of repeat names
Yeah,
here.
they really are.
Starring Steve Brodie, Robert Easton, Barbara Hale, Alan Hale, the Skipper, Jr., Leslie Parrish, Bill Williams, Christiane Schmidtmer. Music is by Bill Rebane. Cinematography by Jack Willoughby. Edited by Barbara Pokras. Distributed by Group 1 International Distribution Organization Limited.
A lot of nonsense words there.
A lot of nonsense. Where the release date of October 24th, 1975. I was just 8. My birthday is August 5th, so yeah, shit. I was like 8.
I was
In a
4
month.
months old.
Wow.
4 months old. Holy shit.
I was 4 years from being a gleam in my daddy's eye.
Damn. Okay, so we can't blame Chris for this one. He wasn't
No.
alive when it happened.
It's all y'all's fault.
I didn't go see this movie.
Has a running time of 84 minutes. It had a budget of $300,000 and an astonishing box office of $15 million. In 75, that ain't fucking bad.
Goodness,
Especially
goodness,
when the
goodness.
budget was only $300,000. They flipped that sumbitch pretty good.
Yeah, they did. That's a hell of a turnover right
The
there. let me tell ya.
$300,000 number is believable to me.
Yeah,
The $15 million number,
Yep.
Isn't it?
that is still, I'm just stunned.
especially in 1975. Like,
Yeah.
Yes. And on another note, the film's one giant spider,
just one.
giant spider.
Just one giant.
That's
spider.
why it says in the title, Giant Spider Invasion. It's not giant spiders.
Not the invasion of the giant spiders.
Yeah. No, just
Plural.
no. That's whole
The
different.
giant spider.
The giant
Invasion.
spider was constructed by covering a Volkswagen automobile with artificial black fur with the fake legs operated from inside by 7 members of the crew. How the fuck they fit 7 people in a bug?
It's a clown car.
I guess. The back of the car was the front of the monster, and its red taillight served as the monster's glowing eyes. I actually knew this fact. A few other giant spiders were puppets representing spiders as large as dogs, while full-grown tarantulas were used as spider hatchlings.
Wow, those
Yes,
are the hatchlings.
there were
huh?
some real spiders in the movie.
All right, so let's talk about some of the funny subplots that are in this movie.
Yeah, go ahead, Joe. Why don't you read some? of
Yeah.
that?
All right, so Dan has his hate-hate relationship with his wife, and they lay it on thick.
Oh yeah.
And I love the way they describe it as a hate-hate relationship because she despises him and he despises her. He's having an adulterous affair with the barmaid Helga. and
Helga.
Her brothel is a trailer park. It's an RV.
Of course it is.
At a trailer park.
Helga's House of
Excuse
Pain.
you, it's not a trailer park. That's a Wisconsin mansion. Okay.
Okay, sorry. It
Right.
Yeah, it had a porch.
Yeah. There you go.
And the most disturbing when he hits on the daughter and it was not clear when he starts hitting on his daughter that it's his stepdaughter, and it is gross.
Yeah.
It said what it says, underage sister, but
Yeah,
nasty.
Underage sister Terry?
off because he actually came back from the trailer park and hits on his step. Ugh, it was gross. It was creepy.
Well, this ain't-
crawly, gross.
Yeah, this is not saying much for trailer parks in the nation.
And of course there was the revival meeting that was going on while Dan was off banging the barmaid.
Fornicating with the barmaid.
And that they used the fundamentalist preacher doing the revival to kind of weave this narrative in with the invasion that man's adulterous lifestyle and hedonistic lifestyle is going to bring an end to all civilization and mankind as we know it. They try really hard to weave it in there.
Yeah.
But it is a complete non sequitur.
Oh,
It doesn't fit, and it is ridiculous.
It did not say in the Bible that the revelation would come by
Giant
spiders.
Intergalactic spiders.
No, it did not.
I'll tell you what, though, if it did, that'd be pretty cool.
And they had a NASA scientist and a university scientist to try and this movie was all over the place. Oh my god.
Okay.
Well, Joe,
All right, let's get to the rating system,
let's
shall
get
we,
to
James?
the rating system. Certainly, as everybody knows, our rating system is based on turd emojis. 1 being the best, 5 being an absolute pile of steaming shit.
It's an inverted scale.
It's an inverted scale. So the more turds, the worse it
The
is.
bigger the shit, the bigger the shit it is.
That's right. We got 1 out of 5. That's one you're going to keep it in your queue. Those are the new classics, ones to watch over and over. And you'll get some endless enjoyment out of these. These are ones that, kick ass. Jack Frost.
Yeah.
2 out of 5
Oh,
stars.
yeah, for sure.
Watch these only with friends who really enjoy shitty movies. Present company
Included, yeah.
included.
Yep.
Not for everyone, but best with a group who like to riff or play drinking games. Trust me. 3 out of 5. At least, when you want to share these with your friends, watch it with them only if you have nothing better to do, and prepare to drink heavily while watching, which we have done here tonight.
And we will do tonight.
Yes. 4 out of 5 turds. The slippery slope. It's starting to get nasty. Watch it once with friends. Trust me, that will be plenty. These are the ones that are so strange you may not want to see them more than once, but at least you want to share the misery with your friends. They may not like you much afterwards, but hey, it's worth a shot.
They may be frenemies after this.
And the top of the shit heap, 5 out of 5 turds. The Fica della Mater, worst of the worst. Only bring these out on special occasions. Forced double dates. The in-laws are in town. When you finish, you want to remove it from your memory with Old Humble whiskey. Delicious.
What are we doing again? What are we watching? What now?
Where
am I? Where am I?
Exactly.
Where am
A targeted
Or some
nuclear
other-
strike with the
Some
whiskey.
other mind-altering substance, or the Negan Bat Force Blunt. Force Blunt.
Force Blunt?
Yeah, hey,
I think
you
you're
can smoke a blunt.
I think you're on some Force Blunt right now, James.
Blunt force trauma. Slam your head in the refrigerator door, bail off a balcony, have somebody pelt you with a tennis racket, something.
Or just watch like 3 hours of Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Oh,
absolutely.
It's the same thing. You'll go brain dead after that. So.
Absolutely.
Now,
Well-
to be fair,
Uh-huh.
the scale can change because you can watch it by yourself and it could be 1 rating.
Right.
And watching it with friends and whiskey is another rating.
The rating. Yeah.
That is true.
That's true. Which is what makes these movies so great because each time you watch it, it might be a different scale number.
Entirely.
But I don't give one blue fuck. I could drink both of these bottles of delicious whiskey, and I would still hate I Am Zozo.
Oh, yeah. I could
That
be,
movie was a pile of shit.
I could have a whole bottle and smoke 5 joints and still hate that fucking movie.
Yeah, you weren't present for that. I don't know if you'd heard that episode yet or not, but it got the Gold Star 6 turd.
Oh, wow.
Break the roof.
Added a turd.
We absolutely
You borrowed
could-
one from another movie.
Yes, and that was one of those movies we had to shut down and say, people, just don't even waste your time because there's no horror content to it whatsoever.
Well,
it was miserable.
Man.
I am going to have a hard I don't know if I'm going to be able to actually get through this because the only time I've actually seen this movie is when it's the Mystery Science Theater 3000 version. I've never watched this on its own like this before, so God help me.
Yes, and I'm going to hold Zozo over your head. Every time you bitch about one of the movies I pick, I'm just going to say Zozo, bitch.
Okay, that's fine. I don't care.
No, this
I'll
won't. This
make
ain't
you
as
watch
bad.
Zozo again.
No, this
Hell
is
yeah.
killing.
Halloween episode number 2. Zozo's back, bitch.
Start with another movie's title screen. And then
and
See?
slip
Been
it.
Rick
in.
rolling
He just gave me an
into
idea.
Zozo.
You don't know what's coming. Get ready.
shit.
Halloween 2020. You about to be fucked.
Yep.
10 minutes in, it Rick rolls right over to Zozo.
Nice.
Oh, jeez.
All right.
Freaking awesome.
All right, guys. Well, let's go ahead and get started with this review.
Yep,
What do you
let's
say,
roll
James?
with it. Absolutely.
You
Let's
ready,
go
Joe?
with it.
I am ready.
You're ready as you can be?
Yeah, as we're going to get.
All right.
In a small Wisconsin town, something was about to happen that would send shockwaves around the world. They came from another world to destroy the Earth. It was the giant spider invasion.
Look at that.
I'm still measuring an X-ray shower from the ground level at a magnitude never before measured on Earth except in nuclear explosions.
Well, Doctor, it could be an abortive strike from a unfriendly power.
Oh, come on. You don't think a missile landed here?
I told you something landed here last night. Look, it's full of them.
I'm very concerned.
Well, frankly speaking, Doctor, so's the United States government.
This is the sheriff. Get on the emergency unit. I'm down here all by myself. They're hell-bent on destroying that beast. The crowd's beginning to take over. Well, call the National Guard back. Tell them we need some heavy equipment, guns, tanks, anything.
They came by the hundreds, by the thousands, killing and crippling, creeping, crawling creatures determined to destroy the Earth. Could anything stop them? Could anything stop the giant spider invasion? There has never been a film like this before.
Yeah, we just watched the movie. And we're gonna have our good friend Joe tell us what it's all about.
Yep, the man is going to lead. He's going to lead this here.
All right, Joe, take us to the movie step by step.
All right.
Or
Well,
not step by step, but
The title of the movie is The Giant Spider Invasion.
uh-huh.
And it is accurate because there is a giant spider.
Right, one spider. But does that
There's
make
several
it an
small
invasion?
spiders. There's several small spiders. And by small, it's like the size of your hand. It's a tarantula. But it is a giant spider invasion. And
Does one count as an invasion?
I don't really think a spider. It's like the giant spider nuisance.
Ah, perfect.
It would be a far better description.
Yes. I still think they should have called this movie Gizmos and Geodes. Because those are the two things you hear about the most in this fucking movie are Gizmos and Geodes.
All I know is in 1975, shit seemed a hell of a lot better. Now I'm watching it, I'm like, holy hell, what was I thinking? But then again, that's why we're here.
Yep.
Well, it at least starts off with a nice, fake starry, generic 1970s universe.
Yeah, it's a
starry
great
sky background.
It's very like 70s, like in search of like sci-fi type thing.
Yeah,
Buck Rogers.
Yeah,
very Buck Rogers.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
And the generic sci-fi sound,
Of
that
course.
crap. So it's supposed to be sci-fi.
Quality.
They tell you right up front, sci-fi.
Well, I didn't think Giant Spider Invasion was a documentary, but
yeah. Well, what you don't know from the initial kickoff of the thing is that they're taking themselves very seriously.
Extremely serious.
And I think that's the film's downfall.
So very seriously.
It plays everything completely straight.
Yeah. And it's really hard to play things completely straight when the skipper is the sheriff.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh my gosh. And he laughs every 5 seconds.
All right. Background for all you fine folks watching and listening to this. I did my homework and I watched this movie a couple of days ago. Well, 3 days ago. With my lovely wife sitting on the couch, me watching this movie, and she had to listen to me screaming at the TV of all the shit that I had to watch in this movie. And I just watched it all again. It's traumatic. It really is. Anyway, so we kick the thing off, and in the first scene, it's the sheriff who is the skipper, and they go right to the first audio gag.
Yeah.
Which, they're trying to play this straight, and they use the little buddy sound cue when he... Oh my God!
Yeah, it's the first thing that he says. He says,
"Yeah, it's the first."
A kid walks into the sheriff's office, and the first thing he says is, "Hey, little buddy,"
and he says it just like Gilligan.
Just like Gilligan. That's right. Just like he does to Gilligan. Yeah. And all three of us just rolled our eyes and we're like, "Shit, this is what we're in for."
Yep. Teed it up. Here we go.
Yeah, and then I love the what is it, the blue streak butane torch meteor that's heading toward Earth.
Oh yeah.
The whole time, you're sitting there with the crazy stupid sound effects, the high pitch,
right?
All that bullshit.
It just keeps cutting back to that, and you're like, I don't give a shit about the fucking meteor, right? I want to see more of the sheriff.
Yeah, but then we do get some Jesus, though. We get some.
That's right.
We get some religion. We get a little bit of religion there.
And now, one thing that I did notice really early is in the editing process, when they tried to overcome their really crappy cinematography and really bad writing and really bad acting, they do the dither fade between this scene and that scene. They just kind of blur out and then go to the next thing. That's a really, really cheap method of showing that you tried on the production crew. Like we have this equipment, we're going to use it, and they used it several times.
Oh yeah,
just showing that they have the equipment and that they can do it, but it's a really low budget wipe between scenes.
Transition. Yeah,
we used to do that when I ran the TV station at the University of Houston. That's what we would do because we didn't have any other tools. We would just constantly do these cheap ass wipes between one camera and the other, and
so you're saying that
it's very distracting from the actual movie.
They didn't have any editing skills.
Not many. No, not many skills of much. They did have good special effects, like practical effects.
Oh yeah, that's all they had in at this time was practical effects.
Yeah, practical effects.
That's true.
And
CGI
good, and
did not
also
exist.
Air quotes. Yeah. So then we kick over to the gratuitous low budget Gary Busey preacher.
Yeah.
Telling us all about the brimstone and fire and this is like the first, they start with the scene with the sheriff, everything's quiet, and then they kick over to the preacher that things aren't quiet because you got this rabble rouser raising the rabble.
Yeah.
And riling everybody up about the fire and brimstone and everybody's going to die, and they just kick off the next 60 minutes of teeing up this this laborious setup of something's gonna happen, and then we get the payoff.
What a payoff it is, too.
Oh my God, it's such a payoff.
Say, I'm disturbed.
Welcome to Hysteria 51, a weekly oddcast of mysteries, conspiracies, the unusual and the unexplained, with John, Brent, and Conspiracy Bot.
You're all idiots.
Join them each week as they clarify conspiracies.
What better way to dominate your competition than to say they're trying to control your mind? Doesn't get old.
And probe the paranormal.
It's all about ley lines, and you'd understand that if I could explain it to you.
Tune in each week and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, the iHeartRadio app, or wherever you listen to podcasts. The truth is out there, but you won't find it here.
Stay woke, meet sex.
Okay, so then we move in, do the stuff, and yeah, they do all that stuff with the sheriff and then the preacher, and they really lay it on thick with Ev and Dan and how they hate each other, and he's gross and she's drunk and
He's a redneck.
And he opens up the truck and there's a chicken in the truck. How the hell did the chicken get in the truck? The windows were up, doors were locked. How the hell did the chicken get in the truck? The chicken in the truck. Ugh, they didn't even. They just don't care.
I think
they
Dan
just
left
didn't
that
care.
chicken in the truck after a night of drinking.
Yeah, I mean,
think so.
Like, all right, chicken, watch the truck. I'm gonna go inside.
Keep guard my truck, chicken.
It's a guard chicken.
It's a guard chicken.
They don't have LoJack.
They don't have any
in the
dogs, so
70s.
that's their guard. Just guard
That
chicken.
chicken's name is LoJack. Goodness. And Ev is just drinking like a damn fish. They run out of booze. She calls up her friend. We have no booze in the house. Oh my God. She's shuddering and twitching. And I wrote
if we were on video, this could be a good spot to Joe pop in with a bottle of the good stuff.
Right.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I wrote down in my notes, like, she needs a friend with a distillery. Because she's also like a really horny drunk.
Yeah.
And like, because the dude, the little kid who was I guess the kid who's
The
hitting
delivery
on
boy?
her sister. We find out it's her sister. It's not,
that's right. Her
it's not the
sister.
daughter and stepdaughter. It's the stepsister.
Or little sister.
I guess. Yeah, the little sister of Ev, Terry, who is a dirty little tramp.
She's a dirty little tramp. Yeah.
Oh goodness. Anyway, so he's coming to pick up the sister, and she's hitting on him because she's a sloppy, horny drunk, and it's just, it's so gratuitous.
Yeah, it was really
they just
awkward.
lay it on thick, and it's very awkward. And
Yeah, it was very awkward.
And all
to
the
see.
time, hey, can't forget, all the time we keep getting shots of that meteor. It's coming.
It's coming.
Oh, yeah.
It's coming.
It's taking forever, but
Yeah.
it's getting there at some point.
And then after Smiley Dan leaves, whatever his name is, she's on the phone. We need more booze. I just ain't got any more booze, and I'm gonna treat you really good if you come over with the booze. And it's just like, oh,
Gonna give you a handy for the booze.
because they, of course, it's the 1970s, so they only have one car.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
And Dan is taking the car to go into town for the
Claiming he's going to go see the preacher talk.
Right,
Really,
that's-
he's going to get his dipstick wet.
right.
Yep. Oh, that's right. He goes and visits old Miss Blonde Long Titties.
Yeah,
Right.
there's a girl whose
Yeah.
boobs are down to her knees and she doesn't wear a bra.
And this was the first time that we started experiencing the day-night shift.
Yeah, so
because-
they do a lot of what's called shooting day for night, and it's obvious and it's very, very bad. You never, ever, 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 ever shoot day for night in your movie. Ever.
Yeah.
No, it's lousy.
The directors just didn't care. They clearly filmed this at lunchtime on Wednesday.
I think they had their initial movie and then they realized they didn't have enough character development and they had to do reshoots, but they didn't wait till nighttime, so they just shot it all in the day and added filters to it later.
They had the one scene at night later on.
Yeah. That was part of the original cut.
Probably so.
Yeah.
Because they started at noon and they filmed all the way till 8:30 or 9 o'clock at night, and then they had to come back.
I think they did one take per each
Everything
each
was
scene.
done in
Pretty
one
lousy.
take.
Yeah,
Oh
they
my
had
God,
to.
everything was done. in
Good,
one
bad,
take.
and different. You
We've
give 'em
only
one
got
take.
30 feet of film. We need to make this shit work.
Yeah, the budget's only $300,000. They can't
Yep.
spend. They
Yep.
can't do these things twice.
That's
And-
10,000 per foot of film.
Yeah, and it was clearly there were clear scenes in there where you looked at it and go, "Wow, that was their best take."
Yeah.
It had to have been their only take. Ugh.
Yeah, it definitely was their only take.
Okay, so this is also where we see the first. I mean, they set up so many like little themes in this with the gross pervy like hitting on the daughter or the sister stuff.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And this was another recurring theme that showed up, and I couldn't not see this after I saw it the first time it happened. Every time they walk up to a chair, they swing their leg over the back of the chair and sit, and they don't pull the chairs out and sit like normal people. They walk up to the chair and throw their leg over it like they're mounting a damn horse.
I think that's
every single time. Even
they got to try to sell that. They got to
even
sell
the little
that.
girl does it.
Yeah, they got to sell that country angle.
That's
They
right.
got to sell it.
Like,
They're
stop
overcompensating for the fact that they're not Southern, but they're
Right.
acting Southern.
Like the only thing more egregious would be to just take the chair and spin it around and sit down.
Oh my gosh! Like you're
we
a
only
cool
sit in
dude.
chairs backwards.
That's right. We're cool
This
like
is
that.
Wisconsin.
There's not no
I'm
Texas.
sorry. I gotta say it right. This is Wisconsin. We
Look
sit
at
in chairs backwards like real men.
Problem is,
Y'all.
I'm thinking this is more Arkansas, and they just said it was fucking Wisconsin.
It sounds a lot like fucking Arkansas.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, what's this motherfucker's chasing his sister-in-law around? I mean,
Yeah, that's pretty much Arkansas.
Yeah, they actually like he chased her around the table.
And not just that, but when he chased her, they started playing a fucking banjo.
Right.
As a song. I mean, it's just Deliverance all over again. Just with the sister instead
I
of
interject. Does any of this have anything to do with fucking giant spiders?
None of it.
Not
They
yet.
They are laying it on thick with a whole lot of character development that doesn't matter and nobody cares.
Waiting on a meteor that's moving 17 miles an hour through space, and we're waiting, and we're waiting.
They're telling a story the way my 5-year-old told a story.
lots of side paths and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It would start off with, okay, today at school, and then it would meander off to whatever the cat's doing, and then you'd really, really get to know about the dream last night.
Yep.
And by the way, my foot hurts. And, Mommy, what are you doing? And then eventually we would get back to how they like Mickey Mouse, which had nothing to do with the original story.
Of course not.
And then 3 or 4 days later, they'd pop in and go, that story I was telling you about. I'm like, oh, geez. Anyway, so he comes in and he swings the leg over the chair and chases her around.
Mm-hmm.
Have we gotten ahead of that scene? Have we gotten to the part where the explosion in the backyard yet?
No, because there's still a bunch of scientist scenes that nobody gives
Okay.
a shit about when they're talking about.
Well, no, the
something.
scientist scenes happen after the explosion, right?
No, it's before.
Because they have to have the explosion for the Geiger counter to go or the barometer to drop and the gamma rays
hang on,
to blow
let me see.
up.
Maybe, you know what? I think it
Because he
chases.
he chases her around the table after the car
That's
breaks
right.
down.
Yeah, because
So-
the explosion scenes happens after he comes back from Long Tit's house.
Yeah, he comes back from Long Tits.
But and that's what
Heidi.
that's another thing we know is like he's outside, his wife is out there, and he comes home and she's grilling him about going to church and all this other bullshit. The meteor comes down, falls behind their house, creates this aurora borealis explosion.
Yeah, directly behind the house.
Instead of him going to check it out, he says he's going to sleep.
Yeah,
And he doesn't go and look for it for like 2 fucking days.
The entire sky looked like a fucking 1960s lava lamp show.
Yeah.
I mean, it was weird.
But he's going to bed.
Yeah. He's like, nope, not even remotely curious. I've fucked my mistress.
That's right.
I'm tired. I'm going to bed. It'll be there in the morning.
My legs don't hurt. I'll check it out next day.
This thing hit like in the back 40, right over there. Wind was blowing, fireball in the air.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Just the wind came out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
Of course.
For an extended amount of time from all different directions, inexplicably.
Yeah. Let's not forget, while it happened, there's some dude who we never see his face ride a motorcycle.
Right, the motorcycle
Somehow he falls on the motorcycle hits a bush, the bush catches fire first, and then burns the motorcycle.
Yeah, the bush catches fire and chases out the motorcycle.
Spontaneously combusts, yes.
And then, like normal people, he ran into the bushes.
Yeah, he's gone.
Instead of
He
up the
took off.
road where
Yeah.
he just came from.
Never taking his helmet off, just leaving the fucking thing on.
Which is what normal people would do. You wreck your
obviously.
motorcycle, get attacked by a bushfire, and then run into the bushes.
Let's not call it normal people, let's call it Wisconsians. Okay?
Wisconsin normal people.
Yeah, there we go.
And I know Wisconsin people. They're nice people.
I know some too.
A handful of people I know.
But I know Texans
but
too.
They were actually from Texas and moved to Wisconsin, so maybe
that's worse actually.
Maybe they're different kind of normal.
Well, I'm just telling you this though, the frickin' soundtrack is Academy Award, worthy.
Yeah.
At least either that or the world's finest hog calling contest or something. I mean, we're talking. This is some top notch music, boy.
Yeah. So after we have the scene with the explosion in the backyard, that's when we get the chasing around the table. Because she shows up and she's in the pitch black room and he comes in with the gun and chases around the table. And then they cut to our scientist who we meet for the first time.
Let me see. We get about 5, 6, 7. We get 8, You get 9 minutes of scientist talk that doesn't mean a
Yeah.
fucking thing and is confusing as hell. They're making up terms.
Well, they're not just making up. Some terms they're making up, but then they use real terms, but they just randomly throw into words.
Yeah.
Like
Out of
Dr.
context.
Langer, our hero doctor, female scientist doctor.
Yeah.
Who
That's her name, female scientist doctor.
Female scientist doctor.
Yeah.
She talks about the gamma radiation that is off the charts, and the barometer falls because gamma radiation and barometers are related somehow.
Well, that's because you're not a scientist.
Clearly, I'm not a scientist.
You're not-
All
you-
I do is make whiskey.
He's a chemist.
Yeah,
He's
you're
a chemist.
You're a chemist. You're not a scientist weatherman, okay?
Yeah.
So you have no idea what barometers do to
I
gamma
don't know
rays.
these things. I don't understand how the planets were formed. I probably think that the moon came out of the Pacific Ocean.
That's right.
Whoa.
You
like
think
NASA doctor.
Let me guess. You're a flat earther, aren't you?
Oh goodness. Flat Earth. That's so 1998. The Earth I believe in is concave. We live in a bowl.
We live in a bowl. That makes sense. That's why
Well,
we're all...
then finally, I think the next morning after old drunk ass gets out of bed,
Yeah.
they actually go to investigate the damn site.
After having their morning beers.
After their morning
Yes,
beer.
they're PBRs.
That's right. Oh my God, that was horrible. I was like,
But see,
geez.
I think what it was is it wasn't Pabst Blue Ribbon. It was Pabst Breakfast Ribbon.
Something.
Yeah.
Yeah, breakfast in a can.
That's right.
But they go out there, and you would think by the size of this ridiculous explosion that you saw that the entire countryside would be scorched. What do we
You'd
get,
have
though?
a crater and burned grass and like devastation.
No, there's no burned grass.
No,
No, there's nothing.
Nothing.
It looks like someone just with like a couple of shovels came and dug it up a little bit.
It's
and
not
said,
even a
"That's
5
the
foot hole."
greatest." Yeah.
It's like whoever owned the land was, God damn it, don't you tear my land up. You can make that little ass hole and leave it like that.
Yeah.
Literally, this hole is maybe 5 feet across.
There's no fire,
You
no
can
burn.
film your stupid little film in my backyard, but don't you tear up my crop.
I think the director was like,
and
walking,
there's no crop.
There's no crop. No.
That's just
was,
grass.
He was walking through the field and he's like, "Oh,
Not
look,
that kind of grass."
Someone started a hole. That's where the meter's going to land right there.
Yeah.
We ain't got to dig one. It's already there.
Yeah, that's like a tree that fell over.
That's
and was cleared
exactly
out.
what it is. Yes, it's a tree hole.
That's a stump hole. Yeah,
They're all stump holes.
Straight
And
up.
then what do you do when you go to a site?
And
They collect fucking rocks.
but I will
rocks.
take this moment to add that they had their Pabst Blue Ribbon breakfast beer. Our Special Reserve and Straight Whiskey are certified breakfast whiskeys by the Breakfast Whiskey Association of Texas and the Breakfast Whiskey Association of America.
Holy hell.
Oh my gosh.
Those
That's awesome.
Those are real associations that me and a friend of mine created.
Oh, okay.
In order to certify my whiskeys as
breakfast
whiskeys. Yes, so you can
nice.
have your cornflakes and breakfast whiskey.
Oh, there you go.
Going to my coffee. Going to my
That's
morning
right.
coffee.
Absolutely goes in your coffee.
That's
It
right.
goes with your coffee, goes with your cornflakes, it goes with your Cheerios, and it goes with good
I'm
conversation.
going to be Irish and drink my coffee and beat my wife in the
Cheers.
morning.
But does it go with shitty 1975 giant spider horror
That
movies?
goes well with everything.
Yeah.
Excellent.
It makes it better, actually.
It tastes great by itself, but it also tastes great with friends.
So they find these rocks.
Right.
They
And
find
they
it-
don't know what those rocks are.
And
They've
see,
never
that's
seen a rock
what's
like that
fucking
before in my
stupid,
life.
We're-
Goddamn backwards ass bumpkins walk up to a bullshit crater and start picking up all these fucking rocks. They don't know if there's any radiation. No,
Yeah,
they just start
no.
poking around.
And they're
Oh,
not
check-
hot.
No, they're
No.
not high.
Like, you would expect a asteroid from yesterday to be.
Yeah, they're not smoking. It's not warm. It's probably not even hot from being out in the sun. It's probably just cool as shit. And they pick them all up, put them in a bucket, and take it home.
Yep.
Yeah.
As you would do.
And he then cracks it open. He attempts to crack it
He
open.
attempts to crack it. Bangs on it with a hammer. Bangs on it with a chisel. Bangs on it with the other hammer.
And then it
with
falls off
chisel.
the table, and then it breaks.
Falls off the table and it breaks.
Falls off a 3-foot table, and then it breaks when it falls
He's
off the
hitting
table.
it with and it didn't just hit it with the chisel. He hit it like 3 or 4 times with
With
the
a chisel, yeah.
And it just clinks
And
off.
like a mini
clinks off,
sledgehammer.
And
it
it
didn't even
rolls
open.
off the table.
And then we finally get the shot of our first spider.
We get a spider finally.
A spider finally, and they come out of the fucking rock.
We see it, but they don't.
They don't see it. That's
Because
true.
it's right there.
And these backward bumpkins crack this thing open, think it's fucking diamonds inside, when everybody and their mom knows what the fuck a geode is.
The only
Obviously, they didn't go to elementary school because that's when you learn what a geode is.
Yes.
The only people who don't know that geode crystals are not diamonds are people who've never seen diamonds.
Yeah. Or went to elementary school.
And you look at it and go, and it's the size of your thumb for one. Diamonds, you never see a diamond that's that big unless it's in the royal frickin' palace.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, apparently these bozos can't fucking open these rocks, but the spiders themselves apparently possess some kind of superhuman strength.
Open it like
super
it's a hatch on a Millennium Falcon.
arachnophobic strength, and they manage to just slowly open these rocks and crawl the fuck out.
What we don't know is that the latch is on the inside, like a trunk.
that little.
So the spider opens it from the inside.
Glow in the dark latch.
Yeah, he just pulls the latch and it opens right up.
Yep.
Yeah, but
like an egg spaceship from Orc, I guess, it opens from the inside.
Exactly. Yes.
And
there
of course,
you go.
When they see the diamonds, when Ev sees the diamonds, she suddenly loves Dan. All of a sudden, he's just everything's going to be fine. And now we find out that the baby died.
Oh yeah,
they just throw in these details, just like drop them in, like, oh, by the way.
Oh well.
I mean, they probably killed it, but I mean that's neither here nor there. But
and they spend so much time laboriously building the story out and character development, but like the real character development stuff, like the baby died.
Yeah,
like it's just
it's
whatever.
It's a throwaway line.
Like this chick is Terry is her sister. They just toss it in as a one line. That's her sister. It runs in the family, and it's just they just.
You got that?
It's so lazy.
See, it's fun. It's fun driving, ain't it, Joe? It's fun to have to drive this shit, ain't it?
Infuriating. It was infuriating the first time I watched it.
So let's talk about some spider margaritas, shall we? Or some spider Bloody Marys. All right, so tell us about some spider Bloody Marys, Joe.
All right, so I know a thing or two about mixing drinks.
Okay, just a little bit.
I know a thing or two about making Bloody Marys.
Okay.
I know a thing or two about drinks that require blenders.
Okay.
Most drinks that require blenders have ice in them, which is why you use the blender to grind up the ice and, mix the components together with the ice, and everything's
Make
kind
it
of
a frozen
slushy
drink.
and delicious.
Yeah.
Right? You do not need to use a blender for tomato juice and vodka.
Now, again,
which she is now drinking, and it's apparently lunchtime-ish. I don't know.
I mean, they start who with them. Who knows? They
I
start
know.
at 8:00 in the morning.
It's daytime. Well, it's light out.
Yeah.
So I assume it's
actually
daytime.
light. Yeah.
So Ev is a fucking lush.
Right,
Yeah.
but she had her breakfast beer. They went to the field, and now she's back.
It's lunchtime, so lunch is vodka.
But there was a break because he had left and he had come back.
Yeah.
And she would, there's spider webs everywhere, and she's beside herself because there's spider webs.
Yeah.
I don't know what exactly the timeline is, but now she's upset because there's spider webs.
Yeah.
And she mixes herself a drink, and she grabs the blender.
Well, apparently these little eight-legged fucks are pretty fast.
Yeah, she's upset because there's spiders at work. She sees them everywhere.
Instantly.
But she can't. Yeah.
But I guess that makes sense if you're a drunk, because like everything is bothering you all of a sudden, or a neurotic drunk.
Yeah.
But there's a little bit of what is it called when shit don't run in, how did spiders get to the fucking house so fast? Continuity error.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sitting there going, how in the fuck they get his house so fast? They just brought them. They just came back with the rocks, but yet there's spider webs all over.
I have to interject. You two are thinking too fucking logically.
Yeah.
First of all,
we're giving them too much credit.
First of all, let me answer yours, Joe. Okay, vodka and tomato juice in a blender, that is called a Wisconsin Bloody Mary.
No.
Okay. James, how do the spiders get there so fast? They're fucking space spiders. They bend space and time. Okay,
Clearly,
they
space spiders.
They have mini black holes.
They have
in their
those
assholes.
There's little warp engines in their ass.
Exactly.
And that's a call forward.
I got you.
Exactly.
To
call forward.
Later on in the show when we talk about millions of black holes.
This is true, and they do have super spider strength.
There
so
you go.
hey, because they can break them rocks from the inside out.
Yeah.
Either that or they release the latch. Whatever.
The latch.
But what she doesn't see is that so she
There's a spider in the blender.
She has a blender cup in the dishwasher, a dishwasher rack,
which is where people keep blender cups.
Right.
Oh yeah.
But it's not upside down, so it wasn't washed. She just threw it fucking in there.
Yeah. As people do.
But one crawled in there. She didn't, and like as you do when you grab a blender cup, you don't look inside of it first before you pour shit, and you just pour shit in. I mean, that makes no sense.
Why would you even look inside?
But the spider is the size of her fucking head.
Right, and again, as with all blender cups, it's a clear see-through glass, so it's not.
No, I don't notice this multicolored spider.
Would you even look?
Yeah. So
standing there.
She starts pouring vodka in there, and then tomato juice, and then blends it.
You see the fucking thing bobbing up and down in the shit. It's like the spider's like, God damn, what the fuck?
Did they have a disclaimer at the end of this that no animals were hurt in the making of this?
I'm sure they weren't, though. I'm sure there were some spiders killed.
I'm sure they fucked up a couple
actually
tarantulas.
blended up that spider.
Because you know what that's I wouldn't doubt
Because
that.
that was a real spider inside that blender
It
cup.
was, but
it may have been a fake one inside the tomato juice.
Yeah, because because they have the scene where they show the spider going into the blender thing in the rack, but then they cut away to her grabbing her, grabbing it, so it could have been a fake one in there.
Right.
However, when he's out back again,
because they wouldn't have recorded that part where they just dumped the spider out because
no.
they only had $300,000, and most of that was spent on the giant spider.
So when
they had to buy the Volkswagen.
When he kills that spider with his shovel, that kind of looks kind of real because the spider is kind of moving around as he's killing it. I was like, that looks like a real spider.
They probably They probably took one or two.
Spiders aren't real animals.
Yeah. No, they're.
Screw you, PETA.
Yeah. Fuck you, PETA. You're useless anyway.
Spiders aren't real. These are intergalactic spiders.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So.
All right. So she, it's a gratuitous just drink the spider scene. And oh my God, stop it.
And then we get the scene where the what's his face, the redneck goes back to his hoe's house.
Yeah, with the geodes.
Presents him with the geode.
Well, now he's decided that he's going to be rich. They decided they're going to be rich. He goes to his cousin Billy's rock shop.
Yeah, because
to confirm that
he
these
is
are
the diamond authority.
Yeah, and
in the
this
town.
is after they took their shitty little crystals and wiped them on on
the glass.
The glass to confirm that they're diamonds.
Yeah,
and
because
Billy,
nothing else cuts glass but diamonds. Nothing else at all.
It's not like you can throw a baseball through a.
It's not like you can take just a regular sharp knife and etch in glass.
Right.
Yeah.
So he goes to his mistress's house and he tips her. He gives her a big tip. And while he's at the mistress's house,
I'm sure he gives her a tip.
I'm sure it's not that big.
Has decided. Ev has decided that she's going to go to bed, and she goes to bed like people in the 70s go to bed. The twin beds, by the way.
Yes.
Twin beds. We still don't have full-size beds because we're not grown-ups yet.
Nope.
But, she just takes off her pants. So we get the gratuitous long leg panty shot with the full button-down shirt.
And she's been drinking all fucking day. She's still drinking.
Since breakfast.
Still drinking.
Yeah, she has a glass of
How this bitch is standing, I don't know.
Yeah, she's got some amazing tolerance. And that's impressive for the 70s.
After all that bullshit.
After she gets attacked by the spider at night.
But we can't forget that.
Yeah.
We can't leave
that's
that
what
out
happens.
because it's so damn
He goes to
funny.
the mistress with the crystal.
Yeah.
With the geode and tips her with the crystal.
Right.
And while he's at the mistress's house, Ev goes to bed, and it's just a weird, awkward, like 1970s gratuitous long leg panty scene.
Right.
Where she gets into the bed and she's laying with just
she's got a button-up shirt on,
sheets on her feet, but like all the legs and and then the spider crawls up into the bed and attacks her and then she gets chased out of the house because that's what she would do.
No.
No, she goes to the fucking dresser.
The dresser.
Right.
Can't
that's
forget
right.
that.
She goes to the dresser.
She opens it.
Jesus
and then she tries to close it, but then she opens it again to let the spider jump the fuck out.
It's like the hand puppet can come out.
It didn't open. This is one of those scenes that this was the best shoot. The best shot they had. It's like fine, it'll do.
Okay, that's house. Right. And then she went down to the shack.
The house is infested with fucking spiders.
Yeah.
And so she runs into a goddamn shack out the back and gets attacked by a goddamn Party City spider pinata.
Yeah.
I mean, the fucker swings down. The legs aren't even moving.
You could see the string.
It's horrible.
But you know what was clever? They tried to disguise the string as spider web. You notice that?
It was terrible.
It was kind of clever. But yeah.
So fucking terrible.
So that bitch is dead.
Okay, so she's dead. He comes back. He spends the night with the mistress. Comes back the next day. Looks for Ev. He can't find Ev. The house is a mess. Cobwebs everywhere, but he finds Terry, and Terry is doing the dishes, if you know what I mean.
And she's half naked.
Well, yeah, she's half naked. She's wearing the little bra top and the hot pants as they do in the 70s. Mm-hmm. And he says, if you treat me really well, you can get
I should have married you.
I should have married you. And she's like, I was 11 at the time. Everybody's vomiting.
It's
gross.
She said, I was 11 at the time. He's like, but this is Wisconsin. That's okay in Wisconsin.
And it's
That's
so
right,
super cringy. Ugh,
it's so cringy. It's so
gross.
bad.
But she gets the thing. And she says, I was 11 at the time, but I'm not 11 anymore. Now I'm 34, 24, 34. And they just zoom in on the boobs.
Oh,
and And then they do a slow pan up from the boobs to the face.
Oh, my God.
And she's just staring at the camera like a bad porn actress. And then she looks at her brother-in-law. And it's just...
They constantly...
Gross. Stop it.
This is the only person in this movie they constantly sexualize.
Yes.
Constantly sexualize.
Yes.
And she's supposed to be the youngest one.
Right.
So gross.
Very gross. Wrong, gross, ick.
So
yeah.
we
And I don't think it was intended to be icky gross at the time. I think it was intended to be like the softcore porny type of stuff, because even when she walks out of the room later and they like focus in on the butt crack and zoom up to that
was creepy.
I think because she also had the gratuitous boob shot later. I guess that's when he goes to see Cousin Billy, I guess.
I think he came back from there, but it doesn't matter.
But now we're on to the scientists.
Which honestly, I feel like we just need to just fast forward past all the scientist bullshit, because none of it
they're
really
talking
matters.
about energy photograms and
space warps.
She takes a picture of some black smeary stuff and holds it up to a map and says, "Yep, it fits."
They have a lab full of equipment that they never use, and one lousy beaker on top of a burner.
Look.
So
one looks like
no fucking lab.
One looks like a Sunday school teacher, and the guy looks like a substitute chemistry teacher. Okay,
yeah.
So
there is credible. One notable thing to note when the NASA guy meets the doctor chick. He comes to the lab and he goes, "I'm here to see your father," and she says, "Well, my father died in 1952." And she goes, and he says, "Well, I guess then I'm here to see your husband." And she says, "I don't think you're here to see my husband because I'm not married. I think you're here to see me, Dr. Langham," or whatever her name is.
So, but let's skip all that bullshit. Let's go right to the good stuff.
Yeah.
We finally get our reveal. Which I'm super excited for.
So they go out and they do they've done their searches in the field. The scientists go and do their searches in the field. Mm-hmm. Not surprisingly, there's no scorch marks, and nobody finds the grass that he's growing that he mentioned earlier.
Yep. Nor
that never shows up.
Nor the 40-foot spider.
Right.
Nothing.
The 40-foot spider is mysteriously hidden.
Yeah.
But Dan manages to go back there and he digs up some more geodes, puts them in a bucket, and then. Okay, so Dan goes back out of the field. He's digging up some more geodes. That
finds a body.
Nobody has ever seen geodes.
Where the body's now half skeleton, but the spiders have seemed to have bleached the skeleton as well, because it's white as fuck.
No, they're more like...
It's white as a science class skeleton.
It is a science class skeleton.
It is a science class skeleton.
And then, thank God, finally...
We're 50 minutes in.
50 minutes, and we finally get our first decent kill.
Oh my God, it is glorious.
Yes.
It
is fucking giant.
Well, to be fair,
molester.
To be fair, we have seen the kills.
In this one scene, we get rid of douchebag Dan, which is great.
Yep.
We get to see the spider itself, and then we get the fantastic visual of the spider actually eating Dan.
Yes.
All in one scene. This is the greatest scene.
And
in
eating
the
Dan
movie.
backwards.
Yeah.
Because he eats him from the feet.
That's
down,
right.
as opposed to like normal people would get eaten by a giant spider from above.
That's right.
From the head down.
He goes feet first.
Like Dan falls on his back and kicks his feet up in the air and then jams him into the spider's mouth.
Which
so that
he
the
said,
spider
here,
can
guys, grab my feet quick.
Yeah. we it was his mouth, but
pull me in. The film's running out. Quick.
When it did like a pull away shot, we were like, was that the mouth or was that the asshole? Because it looked like the back of the spider, not the front of the spider.
And it's chewing like.
But this spider is fucking gigantic. It is horribly animatronic, but it is so fucking beautiful.
Yes.
Because it's so bad, especially after James.
Yeah, it's manumatronic. It's
after
not animatronic.
The horrible costume design of the creeping terror that we sat through.
Oh, Jesus.
This thing is Peter Jackson fantastic, okay? Compared to that shit, all right?
So, yeah.
And we also have to make an honorable mention of the loggers, who are apparently a randy bunch because they ask Helga, who is fucking Dan,
right,
if she's fucking the loggers. And they were having a problem with last night, and apparently, if they're having a problem, they ask if it's the loggers. So loggers are clearly a problem in northern Wisconsin.
That you never see these loggers,
right?
But they're a problem in the background,
and they never show them. You never see them. They never show them. They never reference to them other than they're a problem. They might be a problem.
Yeah.
If there's a problem, was it a logger? And that's another one of those just random tossed in. Like the baby died.
Yeah.
Character development things that are just like there that would have been really good for them to use if they'd have maybe spent more than $300,000 in developing this movie.
They totally could have blamed all the deaths of the cows, whatever, on the loggers.
Right. Just a rowdy bunch of loggers going out and causing trouble.
Because you know what happens? Loggers, they're out there, they're working, they run out of beavers to fuck, so they have to go find some women to fuck.
Right. They're working all day, super hard.
Yeah, super hard. Yeah.
Resting.
Sleep all night. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Unless they can't sleep.
Right.
Because, they're carousing in bars.
That's right. Yeah.
Right.
They dress like prostitutes.
Right.
You know?
And then they go out and kill and dismember and skin cows, like loggers do.
Yeah, like loggers do. But do we get any of that? No. So we have to sit here.
Yeah.
We have to make up our own
We
fan
have
fiction.
to make up the stories.
We're making a fan fiction here.
They,
I love it.
They fail us.
I love
because now we're sitting here making a better movie, and now we're
Miserably.
disappointed in this one.
Yeah. Now I want to see
because
this
it's not
movie.
nearly as good as the Logger Chronicles.
I want to see
The Logger
Yeah.
I want to see Logger Chronicles.
on
That's gonna
Disney
be great.
Plus.
You know what I want to see?
There you go.
Oh, and I want to see a crossover, the Logger Chronicles versus Zombievers. That's what I want to see.
Yeah,
That's
there
it.
you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, so we
Okay.
digress. So the next scene.
By the way, this is also where I rage quit and threw my notebook
That's
on the
right.
ground.
Yeah, you were like,
'cause
"Fuck it,
Dan's
I'm
death
done."
was just, I'm done. I'm drinking. Fuck it.
He was taking great notes.
They
in
have
his
now
notebook.
switched back and forth between day and night like 6 times within the same day. The sexist shit with the scientist, the sexist shit with the daughter or niece or
Stepsister.
whatever
Sister.
it is, and it's just
I
enough.
actually think it's sister-in-law for him, but whatever. But this, he was
So
taking
from this
fantastic
point
notes.
forward, I have no more notes. It's just rage and disgust.
And after Dan died, he huffed, he closed it, threw it on the ground, and then poured another shot. And let me tell you,
I
don't know.
can't take this. I need some booze.
He did it all in one motion. It was amazing, by the way. You get the scene, and then you get cousin. Was it cousin Bob? Was it cousin Bob that was?
Yeah, cousin
whatever.
Billy.
Cousin Billy.
Cousin Billy.
He shows up at the house looking for Dan, and he starts hitting on a half-naked, half his age woman.
Right, because she had apparently just finished taking a cold shower and had time to put on her panties, but not
no
a bra.
Yeah.
And was drying her hair as she
And
walked through the door.
I can't tell if she's using a towel or a shirt because it looks like a fucking button-up shirt that
Yeah,
she's
it's hard to
drying
tell.
with. Yeah, it's really hard to tell.
And of course, he just walked into the house, as people
Yeah.
tend to do.
And she had no shock whatsoever. She's like,
Nope.
"What are you doing here?"
Like,
Yeah.
oh, hi.
Yeah, she just walked
Yeah.
around still, and just barely covered herself and just whatever.
Ridiculous.
And this is the same person who, cousin Billy at the rock shop, who was talking to Dan about how she needs a kind hand
Yes.
like his
Yes.
to take care of her. Ugh.
So he's putting his hands on her shoulders, and she's half naked. It's disgusting. And then she walks out of the room, and you get the gratuitous ass shot of her.
Right. This
of
is
her
where they
ass.
zoom into the ass crack
And it's
because
just
her
like,
panties are
come-
half
yeah,
off.
they're
her
half
butt.
off. I'm like, come on, man, you nasty fuckers.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
I mean,
It's good art, but still.
if she was hot, it'd be good art. She's not hot though.
Yeah.
She looked like a
12-year-old
with Down syndrome.
Well, at least Billy
Hashtag
finally,
me
Billy finally fucking leaves.
Yeah,
and he's heading down the road, and I guess one of these damn geodes in the car splits
This
open.
is also at the point where I have started rooting for the spiders.
I started at the
Kill
beginning
them
of the movie.
all. Kill them all.
Yeah.
Cleanse the earth.
You always root for the monsters.
Yeah.
But anyway, this
Not
fucker
always.
manages.
I mean, sometimes you root for the monsters just to make a good show. I'm just rooting for the monsters to kill these fuckers.
Oh yeah.
I'm done with them.
No, I'm with you there.
They're bad.
Well,
Well, let's be kissing cousins. Ugh.
Gross.
All right, so Billy's driving down the road, and
And-
his car gets caught by a spider web because that stops a 1970s steel wagon.
Well, the big spider was there too.
Yeah,
just
and
me,
then
it
he
just-
gets, but what distracted him was the little spider in the car that
Right.
he couldn't. It's the size
That
of
he-
his hand. It's
he
a
punched.
tarantula.
He
and
punched like 12
can't kill
times,
it.
and he can't kill it.
Now,
And
is it
of
just
course-
me, or does this motherfucker look like Charles Manson, though?
He does. He actually
Have y'all
does.
noticed
very
that?
much
He
looks
really
like
does.
Charles Manson.
Yeah.
Yes. And this is another one of the flaming bushes that they drove through.
Yeah, so he drives into a gas station, but like not the gas
flaming
tanks.
bush.
Yeah.
He drives into the actual gas station itself, and his car just sets on fire.
Like,
Yeah.
if this were today, like, of course, this is 1975, so it's a wooden shed.
Yeah.
But if it were today, it would be as if he drove into the convenience store portion of the gas station.
Yes.
Not the tanks station.
So now let's talk about our other favorite kill.
Yeah.
When Terry, the hoe, is in the house by herself. She finally puts a shirt on.
She's not bad. She's just drawn that way.
Yeah. Oh my god. She's not even drawn bad. She's drawn flat. And
acted poorly.
All of a sudden, you get a shot outside the house. A wonderful, wonderful shot outside the house, and they've put this gigantic fucking spider, like what is animatronic, on top of the house.
No,
Dude,
I just want to know
that's
how.
an arm and a sleeve.
I want to know how the fuck they drove the VW up on top of that house.
Yeah. Like, did they crane it up there or something? Cause
I guess.
I mean, I need to find it
And
on
the blood on the face.
again. And so we actually were talking about that off mic. because like same with Cousin Billy, when the spider stuck his arm in the window, hit his
touched
face,
him, all of a sudden there's blood everywhere.
Yeah. And we were talking about that, and I was telling you that like tarantulas, they sometimes can shoot their hairs off their body into your face as a defense mechanism.
I'm not convinced.
So I'm thinking that these intergalactic spiders have razor sharp hair.
Yeah, it has to be something like that because they just graze them and all of a sudden they're bloody messes.
We're writing a story.
Also,
they were too lazy to write.
I realize I think I'm trying to add too much logic to a movie that has no story. But whatever. Yeah. That's neither here nor there.
It's okay. We've done that before.
There it is. Gorgeous.
We've got a budget for strawberry jam. Smear this on your face.
So this is at 56:48. It's a glorious shot of one side of the house, and there's the spiders on top of the fucking house.
So
it
ridiculously
is beautifully
stupid.
bad. Beautifully bad. And
how did they get the car up there?
That's what James was asking. Yeah. And he sticks one arm in the window, grabs her by the face, cuts her face. She runs out, runs into a damn web, and then the house. The next scene
apparently collapses somehow.
Yeah, because next scene is the boyfriend showing up with a car, and the house is like collapsed.
But they don't bother showing that.
No, they didn't.
That wasn't in the budget.
Happened off camera.
Well, it was two different sets. The set with the house, but they couldn't tear down the house because then they'd have had to buy the house.
So they shot it elsewhere.
Yeah, there was another scene with just siding from the lumber store.
Yeah.
Oh God.
So then,
and so they're shooting at the stupid spider from with a.
It's like a 22 or something.
Yeah, a little 20 gauge or a rim shot 20, whatever
rifle
from across the dam.
Yeah, so the next scene is him shooting at it, and then you see the spider is off in the field in the distance.
Right.
And the spider just cruising along, don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Apparently bulletproof.
Yep, bulletproof, can't be killed with bullets.
Nope.
And then the day is saved because here comes our heroes, the scientists.
He's still wearing his vest and tie.
Yep.
He reminds me of Mr. Duncan from Home Alone 2.
Yeah, he's got one outfit.
He's got that little.
That's it.
One outfit.
He said at the beginning of the show, when does be sure you're packed for your flight leaves. What are you packing for the trip? He's like, I'm wearing my luggage.
He's got one outfit. That's all he's wearing.
And he's in trouble because that shirt got dirty.
It did. But he had time to stop and get laundered though.
Yeah, clearly.
And so they're talking about what the spiders might be and how to get rid of them. And then the sheriff Skipper's fielding calls about a mob forming up by the local warehouse or whatever. Yeah. Then we get a shot of the mob forming up, and there's a bunch of redneck hillbillies with
the bar owner, Helga's boss.
Oh my God,
is raising the rabble.
Yeah, and so you get that shot, and they're all just out there, and they're all like, "Yeah, we're gonna get this."
And it's inexplicably, why are they even forming? Like, why are you even doing this?
Why hasn't the sheriff?
You're gonna go chase down a spider that you like. How do they know about this?
Right. First of all, why hasn't the town been quarantined or sequestered? When there's a goddamn 40-foot spider running around,
right? Why didn't they tell everybody to stay
they just letting everybody run around? They got a fair going on, guys. Barbecuing chicken on the grill, which I may add has attracted the spider. Apparently,
he likes
him some chicken and
there
some barbecue.
There was a giant fireball 3 days ago.
Yes,
and everybody's like, okay, we'll just go back to the fair.
Yeah. But I mean, who doesn't like fried chicken though? Even spiders around space like fried chicken.
Let's
go.
Yeah,
and they were playing pool.
Yeah,
with as they're
forming
the mob, standing around the pool table, there were a couple people playing pool because the balls were on the table.
I think they were playing pool with the shotguns as their cues.
I think the director was out there.
That's
with
just
them
the thing. Yeah. You can't play pool with a shotgun. You need a rifle.
Because they ran out, they overran and came back to a spot.
How are you going to shoot? How are you going to shoot the cue ball?
Yeah, that's right.
With a shotgun.
I mean, it's a long barrel. You could probably do it.
Right. But you're gonna hit the other balls on the table.
Yeah, that's true. You need a very
thin
barrel.
They really didn't think this out.
Yeah.
Sad.
So, but all of a sudden, in that same scene, we get introduced, or not even introduced, we get shown another deputy that was not there. We weren't introduced to before, but it's some mustached deputy who just doesn't get a name.
And he's on the same police force because his shirt's halfway unbuttoned.
That's
he's
right.
in the proper uniform.
They have the same,
but he has a mustache.
Shirt. That's right. Yep. Yeah, that's absolutely right. Yeah.
And we don't get the close up to the face without the hat.
Thank God. And so they,
And the best part about that forming of the mob scene in the bar. They form the mob in the bar, they go outside, and then the softball team comes and runs in to jump into the trucks and start to go. And then when the deputy sheriff shows up, he's like, everybody stop. And the guy from the bar owner, just kind of goes around his back and gets in the car and leaves.
Yeah.
Just Like as the sheriff looks that way, the dude goes that over there and leaves.
They're still in their baseball outfits.
Yeah.
And they're going to hunt down this spider. They're probably going to step on it with their cleats or some shit.
And see, this is an hour-long build-up to like this dramatic climax that then goes for another 20 minutes.
So we get this super long
and it's not a
nighttime
climax.
scene of like in the middle of like town square.
Yeah.
And they're all like, you see the spider come up one street and they all run after it, but then you get like these random shots of people being dragged off.
But this is after the attack on the fair.
And it didn't show the spider
because
didn't eat
the mob
anybody.
comes and it attacks the fair.
That's right, because
and
we have
then
that scene with the kids.
Running, right. Everybody's running in front of the car, so we don't actually see the wheels.
No, because it's like they shot off a pistol because the entire mob started running at the exact same time.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. They're like, okay, everybody ready? Go!
Yeah.
Take off running.
Like this is the scene.
Yeah.
This is the movie.
I'd
just hear-
spider attacking
I'd have stomped on the gas on the BW. I'd have run some motherfuckers over. At least
you can hear the director off camera saying, "Everybody stay together. Everybody stay together. Run. Everybody stay together. Everybody stay together. Stay in front of the car. Stay in front of the car.
We don't have enough money for wide angle lenses.
We get one shot.
Only one shot.
One shot."
So make it count, people.
But this next scene confuses the shit out of me. It's so
during
weird.
that scene, another thing about that scene, like the whole crowd is running down the street, and then you see people coming from the side into the crowd and joining the crowd from the side. Like, where are you coming from?
The spider wasn't coming your way.
Why are you running towards the spider?
You were
to
probably
run away from the spider. You just turn around.
You were probably hidden.
You're safe.
You were fine. You
What's
jackass.
wrong with you people? They just didn't care.
No,
and it's so frustrating.
Yeah,
because I don't know if it could have been better, but it didn't have to be that bad.
No, it didn't have to be that bad. But I'm so glad it was though, because there's so much to talk about with that scene.
God.
I mean,
and then we're in the first truly nighttime scene.
Yeah.
Like that was intended to be.
And they're all just standing around.
That is at night,
waiting for the spider to show up.
Yeah.
Look,
no, I take that back. This is the second nighttime scene because the first nighttime scene was when the meteorite fell.
Look,
that was truly at night.
There's actually like 5 nighttime scenes that just happen to be all the same
All
night.
the
same night.
Yeah,
this town does not have proper time and space.
We're done at 8.
Yeah. So what they did is they filmed everything out of order throughout one day and then just cut it and edited it the way it's supposed to go.
And I swear to God, this mob scene, the riot footage, whatever it is, the carnage scene, this is what the whole thing was built up to see. We have ambulances, we have people getting carted away, we have dead people, people getting rolled over so you can see the blood smeared on their face.
Yeah,
but you didn't see any of it.
Nope.
Yeah, you didn't actually see them die.
But you know what I find so weird about this particular scene is that the film stock they use, the cinematography they use, it looks like a riot scene from like police cams or something because it's so grainy and so it's filmed so seriously.
I know they tried,
and because like the angles they use for like the people that are dead on the ground with blood on their face, it looks like people who were beaten up in a riot, and you're like, holy shit, this looks pretty intense. But then they cut to the scene of the spider in the middle of the fucking street, and it immediately
randomly moving up and down as it moves forward,
and it loses all fucking tension because you see that thing and you're just like, never mind, this is a fucking spider movie.
The suspended spider.
But you're right.
Look, it's fantastic.
You're right. The mob scenes could have been cut out of an actual movie,
like it was stock footage
with an actual
that's
like
what
stock footage theater.
I mean, yeah. And it looks so serious, but then like they cut to the spider,
they're
like,
overlaying
never mind.
the preacher screaming about the kingdoms and of animals and earthquakes and blah blah blah.
Yeah. And so we finally, through some science mumbo jumbo.
It's a neutron bomb. They're going to drop. They're doing a neutron bomb to reverse the polarity of the black hole
that spider came through.
That brought the spider from the other galactic empire or whatever bullshit that they're talking about, with more science words in the barometer and gamma rays and X-rays from the ground.
All right, now and then there's a stethoscope and some sort of
but it gets better because they're going to drop the bomb when they launch the flare,
right?
And the deputy,
the scientist,
the deputy, mustache deputy, is supposed to pull the trigger on the bomb, but mustache deputy gets eaten by the spider.
Okay, that's right,
right. So mustache deputy gets eaten by the spider,
right?
As he shoots at him and he jumps on him and he punches at him.
He threw the gun at him.
He throws the gun at him.
That's right.
I love that. That was funny.
Straight Superman.
And this is the scene where he's getting eaten by the spider and he's actually jumping up into his mouth to make sure that he gets the...
This was the longest fucking scene ever because it took him forever to get eaten by the fucking spider.
I know.
Like he
So-
kept grabbing onto the spider. And he looked like he was trying to get his feet up in there,
Right.
and he kept falling.
They
It's
couldn't
like
like,
the
get him
seven-
in there, right?
Yeah, it's like the 7 crew hands
So
inside.
he was the one who was supposed to pull the trigger on that
couldn't
bomb.
get a hold of his ass.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So they cut back to the scientists who are at the car, the lady scientist at the car. So she runs back to the car to get the flare gun
Right.
because he conveniently forgot the flare gun.
Right.
Like the one thing he needed.
The one job he had one job.
So she goes back there, and while she runs back to the car, Deputy Mustache is fighting the spider. So she
Right.
goes back to the car, and the geodes have cracked open. The spiders are in the thing, and she screams
Yeah.
because she's a girl.
She's
And
so fucking
then she knocks the briefcase off the car, grabs the flare gun, runs back to Boy Scientist, who grabs the flare gun because she can't shoot the flare gun because she's a girl. What are girls doing shooting guns?
How dare
this is the
you
70s.
shoot a gun?
So Deputy Mustache has been eaten.
Right.
And he holds the gun up in the air. They didn't even have money in the fucking budget.
No. Let's not just that. Okay, when he's holding the gun up in
God
the
damn
air,
it.
when he's holding the gun up in the air, okay, it is clearly dusk.
You're right.
It's dusk because you can see the sky.
It's daytime. Or
Immediately
duskish,
after
yeah.
he holds the gun up, they don't show the flare go out of the gun.
Nope.
They immediately cut to a flare
Because
coming
clearly
down.
they couldn't afford the flares.
They show a flare coming down, but it's coming down against a nighttime sky.
Right.
So they couldn't even find stock footage of a flare coming down at dusk. But then they drop the bomb.
Swear to God.
The spider reverse burns. Because
Right.
they set
So
the spider on fire.
Somebody pulls the trigger on the bomb.
Right.
It wasn't Deputy Mustache because he's inside the guts of the spider at this
Right.
point. And then there's an explosion, but it's a reverse explosion because I guess neutron bombs blow up in reverse. I don't know.
I don't know how that works.
Sucks all the
I'm
fire
not a
in.
scientist boy.
But then the next scene, the fire's going out, and there's mashed potatoes and
ice cream.
Ice cream melting off of the spider. And swear to God, for you loyal viewer listening at home, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
It is ice cream and
mashed potatoes and just
melting off of a spider.
And it looks like
and we don't know why.
It was like what?
Somebody spraying damn whipping cream out of the eyeballs.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because the eyeballs explode.
like pressurized.
The eyeballs
like,
jizz them all over the place.
Yes.
Yeah. And then the scientist lady walks up to the scientist man, complains about or is scared, saying it might happen again, and then
Is it sealed? Is it sealed? Well, how do we know it won't ever happen again? Oh my goodness!
Freeze
oh my goodness.
frame
The
and
end.
credits.
Yeah, freeze frame credits.
And that's it.
And Preacher Man screaming about Leviticus or something.
yeah.
going
Much to
on.
Joe's relief, because if anybody
Swear to
could
God.
see the look on this guy's face right now,
oh my god,
he was ready to throw his bottle of high premium stuff at the screen.
yeah, he was.
Yeah. They cut it off at 88 minutes, and I swear to God, if it would have gone 90.
He would have been pissed.
I mean, they could have finished telling the story.
Yeah.
In the additional 2 minutes, but oh my God!
But see,
that would have been a wasted 2 minutes. They shouldn't have.
Right
Just
there,
stop.
Right there's your problem. You said they could have finished the story. They never fucking started the story.
I know.
There was no story in this
Maybe
movie.
they could have told us about the baby.
I was more interested about the loggers.
I know.
I want to learn about the fucking loggers.
Are they like French Canadians that come down from? I don't know where Wisconsin isn't near French Canada, so it would be the Canadians loggers. I don't know.
Are they Mad Max loggers?
What is going on?
I don't know, but some motherfuckers paid $15 million to watch this piece of shit.
Somebody went and paid $2 a piece per person.
$2.
7.5 million times.
They made a director's cut.
That would have bought me 8 candy bars back in the day.
It buys you 2 now, so
Yeah, if that.
No, I'm sorry. $7 million buys you 2 candy bars now.
Yeah,
at the theater. Yeah,
there
it's
you go.
expensive as
L
shit.
at the theater.
Yeah,
I'm talking about just real life.
Oh,
go out and buy 8 candy bars for $2.
Dude, back in '75, $2 buys you a fucking house.
You know, back in yeah. Now, like when spider movies are done well, like Arachnophobia and stuff
it's a
like
great
that.
movie. Arachnophobia
Yeah,
is a
like
great movie.
they creep me out.
Yeah, it's a very creepy
When
movie.
they're done badly, I start rooting for the spiders to kill everybody in the movie. Just kill them all, wipe it clean, burn it.
This one,
let the spiders live. And
No,
run
but
the world.
that catcher's mitt-sized motherfucker, I wanted him to die.
Yeah, no shit.
That motherfucker needed to die. But yeah, I was thinking the same thing when I was watching this. I said, "Now, Arachnophobia was a work of art.
That was great.
That was a fantastic.
John
movie.
Goodman was fantastic in that.
The Eight-Legged Freaks to me was stupid.
Yeah.
And this.
Have y'all ever seen Big Ass Spider?
No.
No, I think that's going to be on our list at some point, though. I've heard
Big
it's pretty bad.
That's a relatively new movie, and it had
Yeah.
had the cop dude from Heroes, whatever his name was, Matt something. I don't know.
Oh my god.
It's a terrible movie.
Yeah, I think that'll be on our list at some point.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
I don't want to ruin it for you.
Is there a big ass spider?
There's a big ass spider.
Is But the question is, was he attached to a VW Beetle?
No.
Then
This
he's not
was
as
a-
cool.
a
He is not as
legitimately-
cool.
It was a real
No.
big ass spider. They grew it to be 100 feet.
Oh,
Which I guess technically it wouldn't be a spider because spiders have 8, but you know.
That's more like a centipede at that point.
Yeah, something like that.
All right, well, let's get into our scores. Let's start with Joe. Joe,
Yep, absolutely.
give us your score
As our special guest
and why you scored it that way.
Lead it.
Yeah.
Oh man, the last time I came in and watched a movie with y'all, it actually went up in rank when I came in.
Okay.
I don't think this one actually goes up in rank. I don't ever want to watch this again unless I'm just rage watching it.
So 2 times is enough.
I love it.
I think I'll leave it at 4.
Okay, 4. All right.
Where it's just it once was enough, and it did not get better the second time. I mean, I enjoyed watching it with y'all, but the movie was not better the second time.
No.
It was,
No.
It was just as dreadful the first time.
So
as
4.
It was the second time.
Once is enough.
Yeah.
Huh?
Damn, he's a man of few words
Yeah,
when it
he
comes
is.
to the rating. 4 turds.
That's it.
That's it.
Straight to 4.
All right, James. What about you?
All right. Well, it's a little nostalgic for me because, like I said, I actually saw this movie in its theater run. The acting was a lot more horrible than I remember. The monster was way more horrible than I remember. But the fact is, I still found it funny. The scientists were boring as fuck. I'm actually going to go, for nostalgia's sakes, I'm going 3 out of 5 on this one.
Okay.
Because, yeah, you want to drink heavily while you're watching this one. But it's, for me, it was worth it. I can't give it a 2 because it's just not that good. And not as good as I thought anyway. The Mystery Science Theater gets a 1.
Oh, yeah, that definitely gets a 1.
Yeah. But this version, no.
Yeah, no. I'm going to agree with you on that. I think 3 is going to be my score because you do want to have at least share with your friends like I have with you guys. And you definitely want to drink heavily while watching it, which we have not drinking heavily, but we have drinking.
Yep, and
drinking,
I think
drunken.
we got a new rage watch. I like that.
To be completely fair, the whiskey is not heavy. The bottle's more heavy than the whiskey.
That's true. It's very true. Yeah, and we didn't drink a lot of it. That's what I'm saying. We didn't drink like too much of it. We drank probably 3 or 4 shots. So.
And by we,
you mean you?
You mean y'all?
Yeah, Joe's like, I can't take this shit.
Can't take it.
I can't take it.
He was down in shots like it's water.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go 3. So.
All right, cool. Yeah. All right, but before we get wrapped up, why don't
I'm still gonna go on record and say y'all are wrong. It's definitely 4.
Noted.
That's all right, no problem. Why don't you go ahead one more time and just go ahead and tell everybody else where they can find you, Joe?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this delicious whiskey that we are featuring today, the Old Humble Distilling Company's Special Reserve and Straight Whiskey is available at spec stores across the state. And early in 2020, you will be able to find these fine whiskeys in stores all across the state, including Total Wine, Twin Liquor, Goody Goody, and Specs.
Yummy.
Fantastic.
And also finer apothecaries near you that are independent from the major chains.
Watch out now.
They will absolutely carry this whiskey, especially if you go in and ask your proprietor of that local establishment to carry it. Ask for it by name, and they will call me, and I will make sure they have it on their shelves.
Awesome. That's fantastic. That's
great.
And where can they find you online?
We are online on the Facebooks, Instagrams, Twitters, and InstaWebs.
Okay.
All of the stuff. Old Humble Distilling Company. We even have a YouTube channel that has 1 video. We will have more soon.
Awesome.
As we continue to grow out our video presence. OldHumbleDistilling.com is where you can find us online. Old Humble Distilling. If you search Old Humble Whiskey, Old Humble Distilling, anything like that in the SEOs, Google can find us and steer you towards us. You can find us physically in the world at 311 North Houston and Avenue at the distillery in Old Humble for the next several weeks. Come 2020, early in the year, you will be able to find us at Continental Plaza, where we will have our new facility where we will open up and have a much larger space with much larger stills and a proper tasting room, and you will be able to come in and drink at our bar and have some delicious food and enjoy our delicious whiskey and enjoy fantastic events on site all the time.
Like a live podcast, perhaps?
I am discussing that with a couple of folks who know how to do podcasty type of things.
Man,
we will have regular weekly shows, including comics, bands, open mic nights, open trivia nights, podcast nights. We will do burlesque shows.
Oh, nice.
We are going to have a full programming set up. And in order to enjoy these things without cover charge ever, you can join our Roughneck Social Club for only $100 a year. You will never, ever pay a cover charge, and you will get free access to VIP events such as what we are doing on December 14th with Kiki Maroon's Ho Ho Holiday Special at Warehouse Live.
All right.
Our Roughneck Social Club members get first dibs at the 4 VIP tickets that we have. By the time you listen to this episode, that will have already happened, but events like that happen all throughout the year where we are sponsors and we get special tickets and we invite our friends and family, and of course members of our social club are family.
Awesome. That's fantastic.
That is awesome, dude.
For $100 a year, that's a really good deal.
Yeah, and the first batch, the first memberships that we're selling now run to Memorial Day 2021.
Okay.
So it's not just a 12-month. This one is a more like 16. I don't know how to do that math. Y'all can figure it out.
It's like something like that. It's longer than 12 months, that's for damn sure. I know that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Well, awesome. Thank you, Joe.
And of course, those guys also get first dibs at our bourbon releases, special batches.
I was going to ask
like
about that, yeah.
Because our Roughneck Social Club members were able to come into our shop last Friday when we were bottling up our bourbon, Boomtown Bourbon, the finest bourbon you can ever find anywhere ever. They came in and helped us bottle up the bourbon at the distillery. And
I
they
saw
they got the first cracks at the first bottle.
I saw some of the videos of the bottling process. I was like, oh.
That is really cool.
It's a very hands-on, very intimate type of event because you actually hold the bottle, cork the bottle, seal the bottle, and the maker will sign the bottle, and you can send the bottle home.
And then you take it home with you.
Yep.
And you said you actually had a hand in making that bottle.
Yep, that is the bottle you made.
Oh man, that's so awesome.
Yeah,
that's so fucking cool.
Yeah. We try to take good care of our folks.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Even when we do regular tours, if we're in the midst of a bottling process while we're doing a tour, you can get that shot. So tours. We don't have a big facility. It's not a very flashy facility. It's not like we're on big acreage like the estate distilleries like they have in Scotland and Kentucky and places like that. But we try to show you a good time. We make sure you get a couple of cocktails. I show you the entire sequence of events from grinding the corn to bottling the whiskey. And if you're coming in at the right time in the process. You'll be able to actually bottle the bottle that you bring home.
Amazing.
Fantastic.
Amazing.
Well,
That's
Joe,
awesome.
you're good people, man. It's a fantastic product. We appreciate you being on the show tonight.
Yeah.
I appreciate you having me out.
You
Appreciate you bringing us some fine whiskey to drink here, buddy.
Absolutely. Yeah, this took a lot of the pain out of it.
It sure did. All right, James, where can they find us at?
They can find us on anchor.fm/whatthesuck. And if you're on Anchor, you will be able to actually find us on any platform. We're on most of the major ones, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. So you can pretty much find us anywhere. Old faithful Castbox, we're there.
Yep.
They can also find us on Facebook and Instagram. We got rid of our Twitter account because
it sucks.
It sucks, and we didn't like it.
So how do they find us on Instagram and the Facebooks?
They search under What the Suck. On Facebook, you can find us under What the Suck Podcast. Instagram, you search What the Suck. You just put the underscores between the words, and you'll be able to find us no problem. Click like, subscribe, follow us, help.
And be sure to go and rate and review us on whatever podcast you use, podcast app, whether it's Apple Podcasts or Spotify, whatever. Go leave a rating, leave a review, let people know that you like us, share us with other friends who haven't heard of us yet, and just get the word out for us.
We've had a lot of good word, and we've had a lot of listens, but we'd like to hear your reviews as well.
Absolutely,
they don't have to be very long. You can even email us a small review of your own. We can post it, whatever you feel like.
Absolutely. And I just want to give a quick little shout out to another podcast. It's a horror podcast hosted by Wes and Kevin. We've been chatting with them the last couple of months, and they are a couple of stand-up guys. They host a fantastic horror podcast on actually good movies. Now, the movies they cover are movies that are actually worth watching multiple times and owning. I mean, they covered the Halloween franchise. They covered the Friday the 13th. They did a great cover of the Sleepaway Camp franchise. They just did the Feast trilogy for their Thanksgiving episode, and they're super cool guys. They're great to talk to. They're super supportive. So go give them a check out. It's a horror podcast. You can find them anywhere as well. They're all over the place. And
it's a horror podcast.
It's a horror podcast.
I'm gonna have to go check them out. Thanks.
Yeah.
No offense, guys.
No, you can go ahead and do that. They're in Tennessee, so get your air flight ready because you have to go fly there.
Tennessee needs some good whiskey.
Oh yeah, they have good whiskey.
Well,
they don't have Old Humble though. They don't have Old Humble.
They have whiskey.
But yeah, so give them a listen. They're a bunch of great guys. So Joe, it's been a lot of fun again.
It's been fantastic fun, guys. Thanks for having me out.
Appreciate it. I'm Chris, and I will see you at the next Suckfest.
Yeah, and I'm James, and if it ain't on What the Suck, it ain't shit.
Deuces.
Peace.
You've been listening to a Fourth Hand Joint.